to summarize what we've learned from the education that we've done so far, using obviously blockchain, which we've been able to access through Beef Ledger, and the knowledge that SCP Capital, headed up by Warwick and his team, have been able to provide us, give us the ability to obviously have knowledge that we've been talking about through CRC as DIY knowledge, if you like, that whereby we as individuals can unify to obviously achieve impact in terms of our purchasing and our investment going forward that we could not normally achieve without the capacity that blockchain brings. We can actually create cryptocurrencies that are in fact improving upon previous cryptocurrencies because they have utility value and they can be applied to real life supply chains like the beef industry that can be improved and authenticated as being far more environmentally and improved in terms of cruelty to animals and those types of things that we all want to see. So that asset backing of cryptocurrency is what will distinguish, I think, what we are doing going forward. And of course, the other thing that will distinguish us is the fact that we'll only ever trade on decentralized exchanges because of the lack of transparency of centralized exchanges, which make them able to be manipulated by very large investors and even machines. So in order to be able to take this journey and obviously create these impacts that we want to do, we obviously need to be able to access blockchain and other what they call open source software. And what I'd like to do now is move on to the demonstration of how those initial tools can be downloaded to our laptops and computers and even our phones ultimately, but probably best to do them on our laptops initially, to be able to communicate with each other, to be able to share knowledge, and to be able to access wallets, electronic wallets, by which we can exchange cryptocurrencies and other assets going forward. So the tools that we're downloading are open source, which means that they have no subscription fees. And that they are obviously very powerful by virtue of the fact that they are being continuously improved by thousands and thousands of programmers who do that on an in-kind basis, not working for the government, but because they want to build DIY capability and create information symmetry on a peer-to-peer basis so that we can help the governments and the big institutions to achieve the impacts that we want to see as consumers. The first thing we're going to download, therefore, is Brave Browser. A Brave Browser is actually based on the original Chrome platform, which was commercialized by Google. So this is the original that is free and open, and it's different in that it doesn't have advertisements. You can choose to open markets and get offers if you wish to, but otherwise it is just a search engine that doesn't have ads. It does not track your search history at all.
Browsers like Brave Browser are really interesting too, because they, as you described, Ross, they essentially block out all the noise and the tracking and everything, and then it re-empowers the user to progressively reactivate how they want to be engaged with by advertisers and that sort of stuff. And you can actually earn tokens as you do that. So it's a little piece of integration into this cryptocurrency world in and of itself.
It's also compatible with all other open source software, whereas software that is proprietary owned, like Microsoft and Google, often have compatibility issues with each other. So if we're going to be going into the blockchain world and the open source world, it's best that those the tools we use are all in that realm.
And you'll find actually that it's a lot faster because it's not doing all the tracking and all that sort of stuff. So your browsing experience should actually be a faster, more efficient one. And it's actually really nice the way the home screen actually shows you, how many things have been blocked and how much time you've saved because it's performed quicker and all of that. It is an improved internet browsing experience as a result. For its search engine, see how it's got DuckDuckGo search? DuckDuckGo is the search engine that delivers a lot more privacy, meaning that it doesn't track your search records and all those sorts of things. So as opposed to, when you Google things, that entire search history is actually being stored and tracked by the Google Analytics lab. So DuckDuckGo is is a more privacy-oriented search engine.
So the next item is a tool which is called Telegram, by which we can all communicate on an open source basis, but obviously with very, very high encryption so that there's no capacity for our messaging to be hacked.
So there's Telegram for Android, iPhone and iPad, PC, Linux, and the Mac. So I'll go with the Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Get Telegram for Mac.
Well, now you have the ability to obviously search knowledge and share it and communicate through Telegram. How many people are using Telegram?
Oh, there's over 400 million globally. It is really focused around end-to-end security. There are other tools that probably have even more security properties than Telegram. And Telegram here, as you can see, you need to put in a phone number and those sorts of things to enable you to operate Telegram. You can actually, there are some hacks that you can search on the internet to be able to install Telegram without a phone number, I think, but it's quite a nice tool that enables groups to be formed quite easily, and very, very large groups as well. So we're looking at groups of over 400,000 people can be in them if you ever get to that size. It is multimedia enabled, so sending videos, voice messages, and all that sort of stuff is very, very easy. And
you can make phone calls, video and audio phone calls. Now Metamask, yes. Now this is a wallet. Now you've already downloaded this to another computer, Bridget, I understand.
Yes.
So when you install it on this computer, it will ask you to type in your 12 words, which were the personal key that you were given when downloading this the first time.
So the seed phrase, for those who are wondering what on earth this is a set of words that is your most important set of words in terms of being able to interact through MetaMask and other blockchain-enabled wallets.
And these words are issued by MetaMask. They're not your words.
No, that's right. They're randomly created, and they are your only way of recovering your password. So, in a sense, this is your highest level of security. And so, when you set up your wallet and you're asked to note down your seed phrase and all of that, write it down clearly and store it in a safe place, because you may want to be able to access this particular set of accounts from a different device, for example, which means you'll need these seed words to be able to access an account that was set up on some other device. Woohoo!
Excellent.
Fantastic. So I can describe some of the features of this screen if you'd like. Starting from there, Bridget, if you click that Ethereum mainnet tab that you just clicked, the wallet MetaMask is set up by default to essentially speak to a particular computer network. So you can see there that it has, I think, 6 or 7 networks already built in, so to speak. The Ethereum mainnet is where all the so-called real action takes place, particularly in the decentralized finance world. So that is essentially your the principal database that you will be interacting with. The other networks, the Ropsten and Kovan and Rinkeby, are test networks where a version of Ethereum is being run on those test networks, but it's where people can experiment with things and learn the ropes, so to speak. So you can literally mint yourself Ether on the test networks and transact and learn the tricks of the tools, if you will, without being in the real world of the main net. At the bottom, you'll see that you can also add a custom network. So the Smart Trade Networks network is a side chain, so to speak. So it's a separate network, and you'll need the details of that if you were to set that up into your wallet. So that'll be, I think, something we can cover off in the future. But this allows you to interact with the Ethereum mainnet, and that's where you'll mainly need to be when you're dealing with cryptocurrencies. Now, the other thing is that the button next to that little round circle with that shows you your accounts. So at this stage, you've got account 1, and then you've got a second account. You can actually create new accounts as you need. So you might have accounts for different purposes or accounts that hold different cryptocurrencies, So different accounts will hold different point systems, so to speak. You can import accounts where you would type in seed phrases so that you can then, through Metamask, access an account that you created somewhere else. And we'll get to the connecting to a hardware wallet in the future as well, because that's some security features there that you may want to look at once you have a large repository of crypto value and you don't want to leave it sitting here on a wallet that is connected to the internet. The other features of the wallet is buy, send, and swap. So if you want to send tokens, you can hit the send button in the middle, and you'll need an address to send it to, or someone's account number, basically. So you can hit cancel, or you can scan a QR code as well. If you're buying, you can use, depending on where you are in the world, some countries enable you to, through your MetaMask wallet, connect to your traditional banking account so that you can buy Ether and those sorts of things. Next one, close that. Swap enables you to participate in swap markets. So you can swap, you can swap ETH, because that's what you've got at the moment in your wallet, for other tokens. So that enables you to access swap markets. The other little thing that, if we cancel that, because we'll also get into other swap tools as well, underneath the word account 1 at the top of your wallet page there, you can click on that and it'll copy your account number to your clipboard, and you can send that account number to other people. Now, if you want somebody to send you some cryptocurrency, they'll need to know where to send it. So that's where your account is. And it's just like sending somebody your bank account when you want them to transfer money to your bank account. The assets and activity page, we're obviously on assets now, which just lists the things that you've got in your wallet. And if you go to activity, if you had engaged in transactions, it's essentially your activity log with those particular tokens, where you've sent things and where you've received things. So it's a very standard style of functions where it holds things, where you can send things and where you can receive things.
Okay, our next session will be looking at the directories that allow us to obviously look at the search for different tokens, and of course the decentralized exchange, which is the Uniswap tool that is part of the DEX tool suite.